It is such an honor to be here today to speak with you, and I know this is a picnic, so this will be fairly brief. I am an LPR grad. I am so proud to be an LPR grad. I'm with the Gaston Society. I'm also a college instructor in criminal justice, and mostly I'm just a mom. I wanted to start with an excerpt from my college criminology textbook. This is a verbatim quote. Many criminologists still view social and political conflict as the root cause of crime. They believe that the inherently unfair economic structure of the United States and other advanced capitalistic countries is the engine that drives the high crime rate. That's a verbatim quote on page 7 of my criminology textbook. Inherently unfair economic structure of the United States. If that doesn't make you angry, it should. With ideas like that being taught in our colleges today, it's no wonder our thinking has gotten a little confused. My role as a college instructor is to prepare my students to compete and succeed in a free market. I teach them to become productive citizens, to take advantage of all opportunities, and not to expect success to be handed to them. I'm teaching them, as well as my children, about the American dream. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. What do you think of when you think of the American dream? Shout out some things.
House.
A house, so property. What else? Freedom. Opportunity. Right. Right. Those are great answers. The American dream really is an idea so deeply ingrained in our culture, we assume it is well understood. We also assume that it will always be. James Truslow Adams, who is credited with coining the phrase, defines it this way. The American dream is that dream of a land in which life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each, regardless of the fortuitous circumstances of birth or position. The American dream is about opportunity, not about entitlement. The dream of limitless opportunity is synonymous with being an American. Yet today, we hear a lot about sharing the wealth, socialized health care, and of course, open change. But these ideas are not in sync with the American dream. This is the language of entitlement, the language of big government, and unfortunately, the language of socialist ideals. It is not the language of a free people who believe in individual rights and limited government. I fear that we've come to an impasse where we've confused the American dream with entitlement. And in so doing, we've become a cowardly people, bullied by a government that no longer represents us. As many of you know, my 16-year-old son has brain cancer. He was recently granted a wish from Make-A-Wish. What an amazing, amazing organization. His wish was to play on an international hockey team. There's a company based in Boulder, Colorado called Planet Hockey, founded and owned by a young man named Sean Killian. About a decade ago, Sean decided to combine his passion for hockey with his interest in international travel and his desire to help young athletes, and he formed Planet Hockey. My son and I just got back from one of his hockey camps in Sweden. And that trip was only one of many that Sean will accommodate this year through his company. That, my friends, is the American dream. Sean is living it. Through determination and hard work, he combined his passions, and he is now running a successful company and living the American dream. And because he is living his dream, my son got to live one of his. And I'll be eternally grateful for that opportunity for my son. America is the most powerful, most influential country in the world because we believe in the ability to overcome adversity, to pursue our own dreams in our own way, and that the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are fundamental. We've done the impossible in America because we believed we could. And it became our destiny. Rising above the odds and overcoming adversity is a large part of the American dream. I'd like to close by telling you about my dad, who overcame immense adversity to live the American dream. He was handicapped by a tragic accident when he was in grade school. He fell off a tractor and a combine ran over his legs. He spent nearly an entire year in a Shriners hospital, during which time he had only one visitor. To this day, we don't know who that visitor was. I like to believe it might have been an angel. He was told he would be in a wheelchair by the time he was 20. He's not in a wheelchair yet. He went to 36 different grade schools because his family was so poor they had to move every time the rent was due. His stepfather used to beat him when he caught him reading because it was considered lazy. My dad was in a street gang, and for all practical purposes, he was considered quite a hoodlum. Somehow, though, he figured out a way to go to college. He met my mom, got married, and ultimately earned a master's degree. He eventually became a junior high history teacher. But he not only became a teacher, he became one of the best teachers in the state of Indiana. And I'm not just saying that because he's my dad. He was honored with several awards, including the Distinguished Hoosier Award. Just the other day, I got a Facebook message from a young lady who told me that because of my dad's influence and inspiration, she went to college and became a junior high social studies teacher also. When he retired after 35 years, we heard countless stories like that. Like most daughters, I could brag on my dad all day long. But I think you know where I'm going with this. Although handicapped and poor, my dad didn't believe he was entitled to anything. He diligently worked his way out of a hostile, poverty-stricken world. He succeeded in his pursuit of happiness because he had the opportunity and liberty to do so. That is the American dream. Most of you are well equipped to discuss foreign policy, healthcare reform, and the conservative principles that we all hold near and dear. There are many of you way smarter than me who can intelligently discuss all the intricacies of specific issues. But are you really talking to your neighbors and your friends about the fundamental spirit of the American dream? Because I think we've lost sight of it. And I contend that the American dream is something that everyone cares about. With textbooks teaching that capitalism is the cause of crime, we have generations of people who don't understand the consequences of giving up individual rights, who believe that capitalism is somehow evil and assume that big government will take care of them. We talk a lot in the leadership program about framing an argument. This may be one of the most powerful frames for the conservative ideals. Do we want the American dream to die? Yes, that's emotional, but it cuts right to the spirit of the matter. Do we still value stories of entrepreneurs like Sean with Planet Hockey? Or my dad, who against all odds became one of the best teachers in his state? Or will those stories fade away and become the mythology of America, for future generations to wonder if the stories were based on any truth whatsoever? Martin Luther King, when he said, "I have a dream," he testified that his dream was deeply rooted in the American dream. The quote we've all heard over and over, "I have a dream that is deeply rooted in the American dream." He dreamed of opportunity, freedom, and equality, not a nation of individuals entitled to government programs. John Adams once wrote in a letter to Abigail, "Liberty once lost is lost forever." I want you to think about that. Because if we lose the American dream, I believe we'll lose it forever. You here in this group are today's leaders and tomorrow's leaders. You have the ability to keep the American dream alive. As I said earlier, I'm just a mom, but I will fight for the American dream so that my children have the same opportunity that my father had to overcome, to achieve, and to make a difference. It's up to us. I choose the American dream. Do you? Thank you.